think that afterwards. So.
All right.
This is what I've been asking people. It's a little bit confusing at first, but it might make sense to you right away. I'm not sure. So, do you think that we have, like, as human beings, do you think we have real access to the world outside of us, if there is such a thing, right? Do you think, like, as we see this tree right here, are we seeing the actual tree, or is it just like a sort of self-invented perceptual illusion almost that just like tells us it's a tree that we kind of invent in our brains?
So are you saying that is our reality an illusion to us?
Yeah, is our reality something we just invent in our minds, or is it something that actually exists outside of us?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of like concepts to that. You know, like some people could think that you're the only sentient person. You're the only person
Solipsism,
that can. Yeah, that's what's called free thinking. Yeah. So is that basically the question here? Like,
I guess it's related.
Yeah.
I guess it's related. Yeah, because that is a question that would come up. Like, okay, if I invent my reality, why should I trust that even someone that appears to be another person actually is one?
Yeah.
So you think at minimum we should accept that other people are actually other people?
Yeah, I think we should in order to, I guess, be morally, or stick by our ethics as best as we can.
Okay, so it's sort of just like a moral necessity or just a functional necessity.
Yeah.
You can't live your life without accepting other people exist.
Yeah, well, exactly. You also just have to treat them that they are probably sentient just the way that you are. That's why I came over here and sat down today.
Appreciate that.
I wouldn't just go over here and be like, take that fucking like trunk of a tree and start like ripping it off and shit,
Yeah.
If you saw someone doing that, you'd be like, what the hell is wrong with them?
Yeah.
Such as the way that I would ask, what the hell is wrong with that guy ripping off a tree?
Exactly. So there's a sense. Yeah, fair enough. So we don't just go around like doing random stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
There's a sense of living amongst other people where you have certain constraints. You have certain social obligations.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay. So do you think in that case the world can be better, like best understood maybe as a place of things in which like we are sort of these, let's say, biological things that are determined in some sense, or should the world be considered more as just like a form of action where we exist phenomenologically and we have relationships with other people, but we can't really prove that there's an actual like dead material world outside of agency? Or is it just like something, and this is it some amalgamation of both? I guess. Like what? Let me know if that question is confusing.
No, I mean that kind of makes sense. I guess a pragmatic approach to anything in life is just gonna cloud your head too much with this action, that action, and the other action like that. Yeah. Not everything has to have a purpose. Okay. If you're exploring the world around you, there's no way to tell if it's real or if it's not. You just have to accept it and kind of live in that.
I guess I'm just asking if the world is like a material world, and we're sort of these material beings that don't really have free will, but are just playing out the sort of inevitability of our like makeups. Or do we have real choices in the world that have like like we have a real will? Like do you, how would you answer that question?
So that's a good question. Of free will, and that's also with I studied a little bit about that in high school, transcendentalism, which is, could you just go off and just perform like civil disobedience? Just literally, are some things better breaking, or can you just say just fuck it and go off and live in like the woods? But would that be your free will, or is that the destiny timeline that you're following? And to answer that, I guess you can never really know. You can honestly just have fun with what decisions you can make.
Okay.
And do that the best.
So you think there are decisions that you can make that aren't just like determined in that sense?
Yeah, well, I think if you establish yourself as a robot all your life, you're not gonna fucking really get done anything. Like, you had the free will to come out here and say, you know what, I'm gonna ask people some questions about a topic that I find interesting to myself.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have fun with that today. And so I would say, if you just some people accepting free will might just be a very just just living like this perpetually mundane life where you just go like, nope, I have to do this. I'm excited to do this. Like, no, you can. I guess just I don't know.
So the concept of actually having choice allows you to live, because otherwise, like, you just couldn't do it. Like, you would just constantly be like doubting your decisions, and if you even have any real decision. It would just like torment you almost. Like, it just wouldn't make sense. If you don't believe in free will.
I mean,
like, it would disallow your life from making any sense if you don't believe in free will. Like, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying. I guess I don't know. I kind of think about life as a timeline. So there really is no free will in that aspect. That you have to follow this timeline that you're on.
Yeah.
But who says you can't? You know, the choices you make on the timeline are choices you're gonna make. If you randomly think, hey, I'm gonna do this, then well, that's your destiny on that timeline.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Okay.
You're not following your destiny. Isn't just fucking going from point A to point B to point C. You know, you can stop and do a little shimmy and
flavor,
now and then. Yeah, you can do some flavor, add some spice in it here and there. Maybe go to some numbers instead of point A and B.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you add flavor to your life by making choices you might not otherwise make. Okay, sure. Yeah.
All right.
So, you gotta take off?
Maybe. Let me check what time it is. Oh yeah, I kind of gotta go. But thank you so much for talking to me, man.